Hey everyone, welcome back. For all the prices listed in today's video, it's following the MSRP in USD, and this is a time of the year that there should be a lot of discounts and stuff. So be sure to check out the official websites and the official distributors as well. Now let's get started, kicking it off with mice dominating the esports scene, more particularly professional Counter-Strike and Valorant. You can be sure that the following mice are tested at the absolute highest levels. First, we got the GPX Superlight 2. This is one heck of an iconic mouse in the esports scene. Even with all the new rival mice that came up over the years, pros of all levels are still rocking this mouse. Then there's the GPX Superlight 2C, which is the smaller version that came out this year. If you have a small hand size, the GPX Superlight 2C would feel pretty damn good. It is a good mouse and it was super easy for me to adapt to the shape, and I was aiming super well on it in no time. It is almost too small for my hand size of 17.5 by 9, but it is so agile and easy to maneuver. But of course, you lose stability compared to the original Superlight 2. And then we have the Razer Viper V3 Pro, which is very commonly seen being used by pros today. This one has been out for some time, so you'll probably find some very competitive pricing among retailers. Really, this one and the GPX Superlight 2 are the most popular symmetrical mice in the pro scene, and I imagine for the mass consumer market as well. The latest dev at the V4 Pro is without a doubt the best wireless gaming mouse on the spec sheet for now. It is a large mouse, the largest here in fact. The shape is exactly the same as the V3 though. So if you tried that one before and it didn't fit well for you, it's gonna feel the same for this one. But if you like the V3 and you want to keep going with the shape, the V4 Pro has some good durability upgrades that will help it last much longer than the V3 Pro. And of course, can't leave out the legendary esports Ergo, the Zowie EC-DW. The EC shape is still the most popular Zowie shape in the CS Pro scene. This shape is the nicest feeling mouse I've held all year. Nothing feels as wholesome as putting my hands on this mouse, and it comes in 3 sizes. The EC shape is easily my all-time favorite Ergo, and I imagine quite a lot of people feel the same way too. Anyway, for these pro scene icons, these are all flagship products. So during the holiday season, do not forget to compare prices amongst reputable retailers. Please do not get scammed by too good to be true prices. The Ninjutso Ten at just $89.99, it's a brilliant, easy on the wallet alternative to the GPX Superlight 2 and the Viper V3 Pro that doesn't feel too much like a carbon copy of either mouse. It's well presented and it does feel like it belongs in the higher price bracket than what it is. I do like this one more than the Lamzu Maya X, which is another universal shape alternative that you will hear lots of people recommend as well. And for this Ninjutso 10, there's also the Air version if you prefer a lighter weight at 45 grams. I prefer the standard version that weighs in at 53 grams. Next, the ARYE RCC1, not pronounced as ARYE like I did in my review. Anyway, the design is just stunning. It's a gorgeous take on the weight reduction trend, and its arrowhead shape can be seen as unique in the market right now, considering that we haven't seen any releases in the recent years that are very similar to this one. The Vaxee NP01S Ergo, it has quite a narrow front and Ergo shaped flare out back, a backward hump, and the mouse has a slight tilt like no other. This one feels like it's in a class of its own, and it took me some time to get used to because most mice are usually textbook symmetrical or Ergo, while this one sits in the middle with the shape, and my brain took some time to accept that. So very interesting release this year, and on top of that, Vaxee's quality, the wireless performance, sensor and click latency are all top of the line competitive. You know, I hope Vaxee expands their reach because they make some seriously great products, and I do wish all gamers will have an opportunity to buy Vaxee products in future. This mouse has been selling super well. How do I know that? Well, from what I observe on Twitter, and I've been getting an email every time someone uses my discount code, which has been very frequent, so big thank you to everyone for supporting. This Fenrir ASIM has a very unique and practical sort of ergonomic fingertip shape, and I have a lot of fun using it. If you're new to fingertip specific mice, please check out my review on it, and another video that I made which shares my experience as a palm claw grip user adjusting to something like this. If you're planning to get any G-Wolves products, you can use my code Wasabi at checkout for a discount, and it goes to supporting my channel. Alright, next up, a mouse so unique that it gets its own segment, the Orbitalworks Pathfinder. This is the most expensive mouse here, but it offers the most value in ways that no other mouse can. You're not just giving a mouse, you're giving a gift of experimentation and discovery. It is the ultimate modular design, allowing the user to explore different grips and shapes shapes right out of the box. Plus, you can buy more shapes in future or even 3D print your own. Now, I've had this mouse since May, and every time I pick it up, I am amazed at how refreshing and fun it is. And you know, the mouse looks tastefully designed. So unless you own one, I can guarantee that you've never tried anything like this before, which I think makes this mouse the most interesting one to give this year. It is expensive though, but I've got a discount code Wasabi for this one too, which should help with the pricing a little. Now for a couple of mouse pads that I enjoy in no particular order. The Zowie HSR SE Rouge 2 is a great reliable cloth pad. This has been my main testing pad all year, and honestly I'm more than happy to get another one. To me, it's an awesome no frills one and done gaming mouse pad that works for pretty much all game types. My top pick from Artisan is the Artisan Zero. It's speedy enough for most games with a good amount of stopping power. It's still a very popular choice for tactical shooters today. And there is the new Key-83. It's a little on the faster side for me, but the glide and texture are fantastic. I enjoy this one for games like the Finals and Overwatch 2. Vaxee PE-K and the PD140. These share the same surface, which is a surface that makes me feel very in touch with my mouse control. When I used this for Valorant, I was shooting unusually well, but that's just my experience and it could be very different for you. I gotta say, it's an experience that I enjoyed very much for that sort of game. I do not recommend the pink version of the PD140 like I have, because mine doesn't look so pink anymore. So if you do have the chance to get these pads, I would recommend the black versions. For glass, I'm still using pads from Wallhack. I love the quality and their unique surface textures. They do put in the effort on surface development, and the quality and glide on their glass pads are just fantastic. They got some limited drops, but I think for most people, just have a look at the ones that are always available. I know some people who mainly use glass pads and tried the VA5 for the first time and was just super impressed with how nice it felt. It is fast, but I think what impresses the most is how smooth it feels. And then there is the CR5, which feels like the complete opposite of that in terms of speed and control. This one is really a control pad made of glass. Now both VA and CR surface are very impressive in their own way, but don't forget the SP surface as well, which is still my favorite because the speed and control feels like it sits between the two. And for all Wallhack products, you can use my code Wasabi at checkout for a nice discount. And now onto keyboards. Today the scene is divided into Hall effect and mechanical keyboards, and I've got recommendations for both. And of course, I'm pulling out the 60HE V2. This is the best of the best right now for 60% layout. The new V2 refines the keyboard that basically started the Hall effect keyboard category. This one that I have is the split spacebar layout, and I did share quite a lot about it in my review. For gamers, this is an excellent feature. This is something that opens up more options to gamers who want to take their efficiency to the next level. And I know coming from me, it's a little biased because I love Wooting keyboards and have been very positive with their products. The main reason for that is that it's just a good product from a good brand. Their products are pricey, but I'm confident that for the money that you spend, you get something that will last, that performs great, and has good long-term support. And of course, you got the Wooting ATHE. My keycaps are in my other keyboard. You know, to my surprise, this is the most used keyboard in professional Counter-Strike and Fortnite since November this year. And just because the 60HE V2 is out now does not make this one outdated in any way. My advice is that if you want to get a Wooting keyboard, I strongly recommend to choose based on a layout that works for you. Wooting has a page on their website that puts refurbished keyboards and keyboards that have minor imperfections that are not suitable to be sold brand new, so they sell it at a discounted price. So do have a look at that page as well. ATK Qwertykeys Hex80 keyboard is a great option if you want something other than a Wooting. Quality and typing experience on this one really surprised me. I had a very positive experience with my time using this keyboard, and it is expensive, but without a doubt, it is very good. It sounds really nice as well, and you got the awesome OurLab TIHE switches as the default. And the software had a recent update which looks really good and works really well when I tried it. I was very impressed with the quality and presentation of these keyboards. Neo keyboards come as a kit with almost everything that you need. You just need to make sure that you have loop for stabilizers, because that's something that was not included. This is my Neo 65 Core Plus. My build comes in at about $150 without switches and keycaps. This one is sort of a budget-friendly Neo 65, but the quality feels like it's well beyond what it's going for though. I think it looks great in silver, and I opted for the copper bottom, which I felt creates such a nice contrast. And on top of that, it sounds and feels very nice to type on. And here I have the Neo65 CU. This is the higher end option. It's an older model, but the quality and aesthetic of this one outshines any other keyboard that I own. And of course, this has a fantastic typing experience. They have a newer release called the Neo 80 CU, which is basically the same concept but an 80% layout. I think the Neo series is one that is very well done and popular for good reason. Now here are some magnetic switches that I've tried. Wooting lacquer tickens. These are my new favorites and probably a switch that will be heavily compared to for a long time. How it sounds, how it feels, and the price makes it a very satisfying choice. Please check out my review video on this one for more information. Since launch, these switches have been getting tons of positive feedback as it should. Wooting TTC KOM POM switches are a full POM switch option that you can get on Wooting's website, but they are quite pricey. The lacquer ticken switches that I mentioned earlier is an overall better and cheaper recommendation now. But if you love POM material and sound and the switch with a box stem, you know I've been using these switches for the majority of the year, so I would say that these are still a very good option. I mean, I totally enjoyed my time using these for gaming. Even with new switches that came after, this is one that I kept going back to. But that's before the lacquer ticken switches came out. Gateron has some very interesting switch releases lately, but they are rather expensive. The most outstanding one to me is the Gateron Spark switch. This switch is the most luxurious feeling and interesting looking switch from Gateron. It's very well looped, it's super smooth, and there is also very little stem wobble. The travel feels a little short, which I do not like so much. The price is very hard to justify, but these are very nicely designed and the quality is great. Gateron tactile magnetic switches. Who would have thought you have a tactile bump in a magnetic switch? It feels like a regular tactile switch, but being magnetic, you can also use features like rapid trigger and adjust the actuation point. It's an interesting release for people who main a Hall effect keyboard. And now for mechanical switch recommendations. I'm not the best for this category because most of my time is allocated to Hall effect keyboards and magnetic switches for gaming, but I did try out a few mechanical switches over the years, so here are some to mention that I genuinely enjoyed. Sillyworks Gateron Type R tactile switches, Gateron Quinn switches, Gateron Oil Kings V2. This one I experienced quite some time back and I like how heavy it feels to type on. And I also got myself Blue Cheese V2 switches that I enjoyed quite a lot. Gateron keycap and switch puller. This is a must-have for me because it makes removing keycaps and switches so much easier and quicker. I've been using the first version, which is this dark one, and now they have this pink colorway, which they did tell me the quality has improved and it does feel tighter in my hand. Highly recommend it for anyone who digs into that keyboard a lot or just enjoys trying new switches. This Christmas hat is so fluffy. PBT fans keycaps. I use these keycap sets a lot because the price, the quality, and consistency are all excellent. I find the designs appealing and they are not overdone. You can check out more designs on the KBT fans website. I'll leave links to it in the description below. My favorite one from them is the PBT fans crosshair keycaps. You probably see me use this keycap set a lot on my Wooting 60HE. To me, it's a very nice set because it works well with a black mouse and black mousepad, which are the most common colors for those peripherals. Next is a Hoto air duster and vacuum. There are many brands that sell this kind of products, but this is one that I really like because of the design and it is quite powerful. Let me just show you real quick. So yeah, something like that makes mousepad maintenance super easy. And I also use it to blow out dust and dirt from my keyboard, off my monitor, and off my mouse sensor at times. And this is, well, this is a desk fan. And I use it a lot off camera. I got this one for a topic video that I have planned for 2026. I think it's a pretty nice looking fan and I use this a lot, so I thought I should share it with you guys. And that wraps up this year's holiday season recommendation video. Now, I know a majority of the products in this video are in the higher price range, which are the kind of products that I review. And that's because at a higher price, people want more insight and thoughts on the product before they buy. Now, please don't let your research stop here. As always, I would encourage everyone to check out other channels and what they have to share before you buy. But just make sure to come back and use my affiliate links and discount codes. Now, buying stuff for people is great, but you know, sometimes what's even better is making something for someone. Could be as simple as a Christmas card, you know? Now, that's something that never gets outdated. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones, and I think I'm gonna get myself a beer. Or 2, or 3. I think 4 is nice. And now here is a sound test of all the mice in this video and my keyboard builds as well.